Pokémon Soul Silver has to be one of my favorite Pokemon games during the DS era. I have so many fond memories of starting my journey in the Johto region, walking with my Pokemon, and spending a ridiculous amount of time trying to figure out the squirt bottle on the Sudowoodo. After playing Soul Silver over and over, I figured it was time for a new challenge. That's where Pokemon Storm Silver comes into play. Pokemon Storm Silver is a ROM hack that was created by a ROM hacker named Drayano. This ROM hack takes the base game and improves it in so many ways. Important trainer fights now use a full team of 6 Pokemon, previously weak Pokemon get new moves and stat buffs, and there's a whole new variety of Pokemon that we now have access to as we work our way through the region. To make this challenge more fun, I've decided to play this as a Nuzlocke. The rules I've decided for this Nuzlocke are as follows. I'm only allowed 1 encounter per route. If a Pokemon faints, it is Permabox, and I cannot use it for the rest of the run. I'm not allowing myself to use healing items during key battles, and if I white out, the run is over. Oh, and I'm also adding rare candies to make level grinding a lot easier. Like the start to any Pokemon game, we get to pick our starter, and for this run, I choose Totodile. Easily my favorite of the 3. A cool change Totodile gets is he now has the Guts ability, and when he evolves, he gets the ability Intimidate. After receiving my starter, I make my way through Cherry Grove Town to receive a mysterious egg from Professor Oak. On the way, we meet Cynthia, who gives me an Eevee that we name Joe Mama. Next, we make our way back, battle someone who looks a little familiar, and totally not snitch on him. After creating a Super 6 signature for the back of my trainer card, and one final goodbye to my mom, we can finally get Pokeballs and start building our team. On Route 29, right away we encounter a Hoothoot that we accidentally kill with Eevee. Next, using the old rod, we can fish in New Bark Town and catch ourselves a Magikarp that we name Squirt. And not for that reason, not for any of the reasons that you're thinking of, and I'm looking at you. We get Mr. Krabs the Krabby at Cherry Grove City, and on Route 30, we actually run into another Hoothoot. Now for some people, they may consider this dupes. However, I only consider it dupes if I've actually caught the Pokemon. So we end up catching this Hoothoot on the different route and name him Mr. 2. On Route 31, we pick up Donald the Psyduck, and in Dark Cave, we get an insane 4% encounter Larvitar, and we name him Scooby-Doo. Once we reach Violet City, we can head into the Pokemon Center, answer a quick quiz, and be rewarded with a Kanto starter of our choice. Of course, I opt for Charmander, who in this game is given the Solar Power ability. Before Bellsprout Tower, we can head to Route 32 and catch a Bellsprout of our own for our encounter. After breezing through Bellsprout Tower with our new Charmander and catching Rattata along the way, we get ready for our battle with Elder Lee. Thanks to Charmander and the Larvitar, we're able to secure the win in this fight, no problem. And for our reward, a choice of an evolutionary stone for our Eevee. I opted for the Thunderstone since Falkner is a flying type gym and Jolteon would give us a nice type advantage. If I didn't mess up the level to evolve him, so for this gym battle we will have a Jolteon, however he won't have any electric moves. Definitely not my smartest move. After perfectly creating my team of 6, we're ready to take on Falkner. We lead this battle out with our Larvitar to face Falkner's Doduo. He hits us turn 1 with a Growl, but we're able to still knock him out with a Rock Slide. He then sends in Murkrow and goes for a feint attack. We survive with more than half HP, but because we are -1 attack, our Rock Slide brings him down just barely to the red. At this point, I assumed Falkner would go for a Super Potion, so I swap into Jolteon, but instead he goes for another feint attack. Jolteon is able to take that attack, and since we outspeed, we can finish Murkrow with a Tackle. Falkner then sends his ace, Pidgeotto. Fearing a strong move, I choose to Sand Attack to hopefully lower his accuracy enough. However, he lands a crit with Tackle, causing us to lose Joe Mama. I send in my Larvitar to tank an Aerial Ace and go for another Rock Slide. Worrying about getting hit with another crit, I swap Larvitar out for Krabby and we're able to knock out Pidgeotto with a Crab Hammer. Falkner goes to send in Swablu, and we swap our Krabby for our Totodile. I make a crucial mistake here and forgot that his Swablu has a Power Herb and lands a turn 1 Solar Beam that was also a crit. As you see, I sit here in agony for a few seconds at this stupid mistake. Then I send in Larvitar again and we finish off Swablu with another Rock Slide. Falkner sends in Chatot to use Uproar, but our GOAT Larvitar lives on 1 HP, allowing us to one-shot Swablu with yet another Rock Slide. Without a second thought, I choose to swap in Hoothoot to tank a Poison Jab, but before I can get a move off, we're hit with yet another critical hit Air Slash, causing us to lose our second Pokemon. I send in Charmander, and with some luck, we're able to burn Farfetch'd with Ember. This allows us to easily tank the rest of the moves as we finish him off, winning us our very first gym badge. Although we came out on top, some serious mistakes were still made that cost us some Pokemon that would have been really strong later on. This first gym battle was just a taste of what this game is really capable of. After healing, we can continue down Route 32 and head to Union Cave, where we end up catching our own Sandshrew. We breeze through the trainers, and on Route 33, we catch ourselves an Ekans for an encounter. Another cool addition to this game is that in the Azalea Town Pokemon Center, we can pick up one of the 3 Hoenn starters. Since Bugsy is next, I decided to go with Torchic, another very strong fire-type Pokemon to add to our team. Once we level up our team a bit, and talk to the old guy, who for some reason wants my balls, we can head to Slowpoke Well for another boss fight, Executive Proton. Proton only has 4 Pokemon, and there are 2 specifically that we need to keep an eye on. One of those 2 is Voltorb. There's 2 main issues with this Pokemon. It knows both Self-Destruct and Toxic. The AI for this battle is going to randomly select one of its 4 moves to use, 2 of which we are praying it doesn't select. I chose to start this battle with Larvitar to hopefully tank either attacks, but thankfully, even though Voltorb outspeeds, he goes for a Screech, and we're able to land a critical hit with Rock Slide. Proton then sends in Cacnea, so I swap into Charmeleon to tank the not very effective Needle Arm it uses. We take a Sucker Punch, and our Dragon Rage is able to bring him down to the red HP. The following turn, we outspeed, so we finish him off with Ember. Proton's third Pokemon is Coughing, the other Pokemon that we need to worry about, for basically the exact same reasons as Voltorb. It has Self-Destruct and Toxic, which it'll randomly select. I decide to swap in for Krabby, and thankfully we only get hit with a Toxic. I then choose to go for Crabhammer, which does about half. We unfortunately take a huge Sludge Bomb that ends up knocking out Mr. Krabs. I then choose to swap into Charmeleon and finish off Coughing with Dragon Rage. Proton's final Pokemon is Zubat, and after some swapping, we have our Rattata KO him with a Hyper Fang and then a Bite. After clearing Slowpoke Well, there isn't much more to do other than head for Bugsy, the second gym leader. We're able to make it through the gym no problem and start our battle with Bugsy. My plan to start was to use Ice Fang with Raticate, and with some very nice RNG of our own, we land a Freeze. The following turn, Butterfree gets healed and we can knock it out with 2 Thunder Fangs. Bugsy then follows with Heracross, so we swap into Gambuskin to tank a Bug Bite. It's probably around 2 AM at the point of this battle, and for some reason I click Focus Energy. Heracross hits us with an Aerial Ace, almost knocking us out. We swap into Charmeleon, and we were able to take another Aerial Ace a lot better this time. We then attack with Dragon Rage, and are able to take no damage this turn because Heracross uses Counter. We use Dragon Rage again to finish off Heracross. Bugsy then sends in Yanma, who outspeeds and goes for an Ancient Power. Thankfully, we live and use Dragon Rage to lower its HP. I swap into Raticate, take little to no damage from Air Cutter, and KO the Yanma with a very nice Ice Fang. We keep Raticate in so we can use Fire Fang, and again, with some very nice RNG of our own, we're able to land a burn on the Pinsir, which allows us to absolutely tank right through its Vital Throw. The next turn, we easily KO the Pinsir with yet another Fire Fang. Bugsy's second last Pokemon is Beedrill, and I swear, the Pokemon Nuzlocke gods are looking out for me for this fight, because we're able to land a Flinch, this time with Ice Fang, meaning we take absolutely 0 damage from Beedrill. Now it's time for the ace of his team, Scyther. I decide to try my luck with a Fire Fang, however Scyther outspeeds and finishes off Raticate with the Wing Attack. This attack stat is seriously no joke. I send in Larvitar, and Scyther goes for a Swords Dance as we decide to use Rock Slide. We just barely leave him in the red, almost one-shotting it. At this point, I don't have anyone who can outspeed, so I risk it all by keeping Larvitar in. We're hit with a +2 Wing Attack, and Larvitar, by the grace of God, lives on 5 HP. Our risk seriously paid off, and Rock Slide finishes Scyther, giving us the win, only losing 1 Pokemon this battle. Although we had luck on our side, and this battle still went really well, it's clear to me that I still need to do a lot more prep for key battles like gym leaders. I hope you guys did enjoy. I want to make these Nuzlocke videos into shorter parts, as I find them a lot more digestible and easier to watch. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you guys very soon with part 2.